The most asked question that I get is, what lens should I get? It's a hard question to answer because it's very subjective. It depends on your budget and also depends on what you want to shoot. I always recommend starting out with a standard zoom lens because you can at least play around with different focal lengths. And so today we're gonna check out this standard zoom lens, the Sigma 28-70 contemporary lens. Okay, so I've been playing with this lens for a few weeks now, and it's great. I mean, it's a decent performer, pretty good image quality, super lightweight. Like, I much prefer using this lens over my heavier standard zoom lens. Here, let me pull it up. Here, this is the Sony 24-70 G Master lens. Oh, that's a chunker. I mean, here it is side by side. It's like already my arm's getting tired. But this lens is incredibly lightweight and I think perfect for cameras like the Sony a7C. I mean, of course you can use it with an a7S III, a7R4, a7 III, but with the a7C, like, because how small that camera is and because how lightweight this lens is, I think those two would be like the perfect pair. Now, if I were to compare this lens with another lens, it would of course be the Tamron 28-70 standard zoom lens. I don't have that lens right now, and so I'm just gonna compare it to my Sony 24-70 G Master lens, even though it might be an unfair comparison. I just figured, why not? And at least you can see the image quality and compare that to the image quality from a G Master lens. Okay, let's talk about the lens. So the Sigma 28-70mm standard zoom lens has a pretty decent exterior build, although it's more plastic than metal, so I'm not exactly sure how rugged this lens is. It's also advertised to be dust and splash resistant. I haven't tested that out, but that's what it's advertised. The focal range of the lens goes from 28mm to 70mm, and I don't really consider 28mm a wide focal length. I would consider that more of a medium focal length. And so if you want to get wide shots like landscapes or architecture, then I don't know if this lens is it. But for everything else, like just for medium shots or for portraits, like if you want to do portrait photography, then yeah, totally, this lens would be a great choice. There are two rings on the lens, one for the zoom. Here's what it is, zooming action. And the other is a focus ring. And it's not really smooth. There's a bit of friction to it, so I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing. I mean, when I was rack focusing, it was pretty smooth for the most part, but that's probably because of experience as well. I'm not trying to be like braggadocious or whatever, but if you've got experience pulling focus, then you should be somewhat decent. And lastly, you've got the autofocus manual focus switch on the side, and as far as filter thread goes, it takes a 67mm filter on the front. And you got a nice little hood as well. So vlogging right now with the lens, and I mean, you could vlog with it, but I think it's a bit too tight for my liking. I think a vlog lens should be a bit wider, but if you wanted to vlog with this lens, you totally can. Albeit I am using the Joby Gorilla Pod, and so I'm extending it further than my arm actually is. I have short arms. I'm not a very tall person. Suffice to say, you can vlog with this lens. So this place is called Adriatica, and this is one of my favorite places to film in. Also, it's so pretty. Like, I love this lake, and because I'm from California, I do miss the ocean, and so having a beautiful lake like this does make up for it. Oh, and they're building my house right over there. See that? Yeah, that's my house. No, it's not. No, it's not. Anyway, I wanted to test out the zoom capabilities of the 28-70 lens, and this is what it is right now. Here's that 28mm, and here's 70mm. Let me do that again because I messed up. 28mm and 70mm. And as you can see, the zoom is actually really smooth. There's a bit of friction to it, but in a way that makes your zoom really, really smooth, and I really, really like it. So what do I like about this lens, and what do I not like about this lens? Well, I love how lightweight this lens is. I mean, when it comes to standard zoom lenses, like, this is probably one of the lighter lenses. Like, sometimes G Master lenses can be really heavy, like really, really heavy, and your arms can get really tired. At least for me, I'm very weak. But when I was shooting with this lens and my Sony a7S III, like, it just felt good. I don't know, that's a weird thing to say. It just didn't feel too heavy. There you go, that's what I should have said. As far as performance goes, I mean, yeah, it was a good performer. Kept up with my A7S III in terms of autofocus. Fairly sharp images, especially in the center. Not as sharp as my G Master lens or an art lens, of course, but decently sharp nonetheless. In terms of chromatic aberration, there was a little bit of it. I mean, not too much, but a little bit if you pixel peep. And so I don't know if that's gonna be a deciding factor for you, but just wanted to let you know. And so those are all the things I like about this lens. What I don't like about this lens is the actual focal range. I'm not really a big fan of the 28-70 focal range. Like, I think a true standard zoom lens would be 24-70 millimeters. I just don't think 28 millimeters is wide enough to do wide shots. I mean, you can if you step back far enough, I guess. And I guess you could vlog with it. But to me, a true standard zoom lens would go from 24 millimeters to 70 millimeters. 24 millimeters just gives you that nice wide angle shot. Like, even at 24 millimeters is not that wide in my opinion. Like, I much prefer 16 millimeters as a wide focal length, but you can definitely get away with a lot of wide angle shots at 24 millimeters. But if you don't vlog at all or even like shooting landscapes or architecture, then this lens is actually pretty good. In fact, I shot at 70 millimeters with this lens probably 90% of the time because it just looked that good. Like, the compression in the background with a 70 millimeter shot just looks, it just looks good, man. So if you're more into those kind of shots, getting the medium and tighter shots, then yeah, this lens would be a great option for you. And that's pretty much it. I got really nothing bad to say about this lens. I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't think it's anything special. It's a decent standard zoom lens, and I actually think it's perfect for people that just bought their first full frame camera and they're trying to figure out which lens to get for their first full frame camera. And if that sounds like you, then definitely check out the Sigma 28-70 contemporary lens. Huge thanks to Sigma for sending over the 28-70 contemporary lens for me to play with. And if you want to grab one for yourself, then make sure to click the link down below. But that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Always appreciate you. Like, subscribe, all those good things down below, and I will see you in the next one.